What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. The new dragons have been revealed. The first one here is already on YgoPro, so let's try it out. The new Dark Armed Xyz, and as you already probably know out of all the effects that have been revealed, they are pretty much all very lackluster, very underwhelming, and same for this new rank 7 Dark Armed Dragon. You can also summon it like with a level 5 or a higher Dark Monster on your side of the field, so pretty much a 1-card Xyz if you have exactly 5 Darks in your graveyard. So when is that going to happen? I mean, there are of course could be like any situation or some situation, some random situation where that can be used, but I don't like that much. But any rank 7 base deck, like for example here Dark Magicians, can definitely main deck discard your new Dark Armed Xyz as a possible out. I mean, its effect is not once per turn, you can just keep detaching a card to pop one card from your opponent, and that can either be like a spell or trap, or of course a monster card. The small downside is that if you pop something, you have to banish a card from your own graveyard as well. So again, somewhat similar to the old school Dark Armed Dragon. But again, as you're probably seeing from the replays really soon, is that I've been playing like past couple of hours, and in like 9 out of 10 situations it's just better to go for another Xyz or just a Link Summon or any other outside. Well, not go for your Dark Armed Dragon, right, since it also sacrifices its attack. So if you use its effect of popping something, you can't attack with it. So many restrictions, and again, they're just like Tomahawk or any other rank 7 Xyz in most situations are just better. Going against Pendulum Magicians, the opponent starting off having the Ghost Ogre, I guess it's fine, but again, it's not going to matter too much here. He's able to set up the Art Eyes of Vortex Dragon as well. I do have the Cosmo Brain in my hand, and my build is a little bit different compared to the build I used a couple of weeks ago with Cosmo Brain Dark Magicians. I like the card, but it's a little bit different compared to like maybe a standard just build of Dark Magician with Allure of Darkness. Well, yeah, again, I'm not. You could definitely play Allure if it's not for Brandish. Again, if you're not liking the Brandish engine, just feel free to add in maybe an extra navigation, more Allure of Darkness. That's again up to you, right? So Skull Dread into eventually Soul Charge. Again, your new Dark Armed Xyz. Again, also going to use the Ghost Ogre Reborn to potentially go for Needle Fiber again, to go for Wonder Magician during your opponent's turn. But again, as mentioned before, the Dark Armed Dragon Xyz can be used or can be special summoned with multiple level 7 monsters, so its effect is not once per turn, at least detach effect, right? So well, anyway, next example, yep, definitely I get to start. This is again an okay hand. Summoner's Art is again in the main deck, just to search out that normal monster to be discarded by, well, Cosmo Brain, right? Again, Cosmo Brain with Brandish opens up a rank 7 Xyz play, and as I mentioned before, in most of the times, most situations, it's just better to go for Tomahawk and go for, well, you could potentially go for some Nightmare, Troymare setup. That's definitely something you can do, but Skull Dread is definitely also an option to get more draws, drawn to back row, hand traps, the delicious stuff, right? Again, an okay opening hand here. The game didn't give me the option to well, to use, I believe, the Eternal Soul, yep, indeed, to potentially banish the alternative, but that's the small downside, right, of YgoPro as a simulator. Anyway, use the Hornet bit to get an extra token and Reborn a Dark Magician to, yep, whatever, right, use Circle, get an extra Surge, not really, I think I added another Eternal Soul, right, but again, why did Konami give the Eternal Soul the restriction? That it's like, well, it's not really a restriction, but the downside is that when it's removed from the field, you Raigeki your entire field, and now I lost momentum, so yep, I can't come back from this, right? So I'm definitely, at least I think I can banish something from my opponent's side of the field, but the White Spirit Dragon definitely helps him here in this particular matchup, keeping that Dark Magic Circle and the Eternal Soul off of my side of the field. And my top deck is, I believe, a Spellbook of Knowledge, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so that's definitely GG, well played. that's Dark Magicians, I guess. Normal summon rods, that's definitely good if you're opening with rod, and especially with knowledge as well. Again, they're getting those draws and potentially setting up more spells for your brandish engine, so that all works out fine. Again, the brandish link monster giving me the extra effect monster on my side of the field for the potential tribute of Cosmo Brain. Here, I think I have to, right, I think I have to Ash Blossom the, what is it called, the Huge Foolish Burl for Dragons, right? I can't let him set up the Diablos. I think again I have to use an early Eternal Soul to banish the field spell, but he did have a second option, so Lilith can tribute one of my own monsters, and that's a problem. Well, it's a problem for him, right? Not knowing Eternal Soul, and what is it called, that Eater of Millions. Eternal Soul, very, very solid. I believe Eternal Soul also prevents him from tributing my Dark Magicians by the field spell. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here, I changed my mind I changed my mind a couple of times. I was like, let's go for Borealo Dragon, and then you Soul Charge, well, let's go for Skull Dread, and then I changed my mind again, no, let's just go for Crystal Needle Fiber into the Jet Synchron. It's just a 1 card extra, like if you open with a token generator of Brandish, a normal summon of Ghost Ogre or any tuner can lead to a Summon Sorceress. Again, Summon Sorceress can be nice for, well, more Magicians or more Dark Magician searches, and eventually possible more rank 7 Xyz plays. So another duel against Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons also got a new spell card, a new Spell Searcher. Probably will test that out soon. I think it's okay. I mean, nothing can be wrong with like a reinforcement of the army for the deck, right? Definitely is a very solid opening hand. Again, using Eternal Soul to banish. I believe the Nova on the side of the field really does follow up with Overload Fusion, and if it wasn't for the token generator, I would have lost here already. So I think I have to drop the, what is it called, Zeerdras? I think it's an excellent attack to get back either Navigation or Dark Magic Circle or Eternal Soul, since if you're up against Dark Magicians, those are the cards that your opponent wants to get rid of as soon as possible, right? So Eternal Soul banished something on my opponent's side of the field. Going for the Needle Fire play, thanks to Monster Reborn, I can have that delicious rank 7 Xyz play. I think I should be going for, no Tomahawk. Prefer the damage here. Special summoning, I believe, the last Dark Magician for my deck. Get in some damage and set another Eternal Soul to potentially interrupt any of my opponent's plays next turn. The core is good, especially with Hertz activating its effect. It is like a level 5, I believe. Yep. But still having the Eternal Soul to banish the Nova, and this should be game over, I think. Yeah, since the Zeger was banished earlier, so it can't get it back. Yeah, again, just wasting some time, I guess. So eventually use a rod to get an extra search, go for Skull Dread, etc, etc. But this is definitely a game over, right? Yeah, going for the any rank 7 Xyz play would have done it. So I think, as you're seeing in the replays, most of the time it's just better to go for something like Tomahawk, maybe Big Eye, depends on the situation, or maybe the Dark Magician Xyz. So the Ebon Illusion Magician, I mean. So again, I think the option of having the Dark Armed Dragon in your extra deck is okay. I mean, there are some situations where you want to get rid of multiple cards on your opponent's side of the field, so having that access to that Dark Armed Xyz, I believe, is fine, but it's not like the go-to MVP of your extra decks. Well, anyway, last example against ABCs, use Circle eventually. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like C with Twin Twister and only 1 card in the hand, but whatever, right? Going for Tomahawk with Zeerdras as well, getting back the Circle. Yep, indeed. So I think I'm going for, going for Phoenix by banishing the field spell as well, and eventually going for Borealo Dragon, again gaining control of the B. So I thought I was like, okay, I'm in a very good position, prevent my opponent from getting out Buster, right? But this is a good option, a good play on his part. Special summoning C, going for Black Rose, and now this escalated quickly. The Buster on his side of the field, and Dark Magician can't recover from this, especially with him having 1 card in his hand, and of course the tag out for the Dragon Buster, right? So yep, that's again a GG, well played. So again, final remarks, as I believe most people already thought, is it's very situational, this new Dark Armed Dragon. I mean, if you're playing like a rank 7 Xyz play deck, Xyz deck, you can definitely splash in like a 1 copy of your Dark Armed Xyz, but again, it's not like your go-to MVP in most situations. Like, having the threat in your extra deck, most of the time, it's just fine, right? The main deck might need some tweaks, Allure of Darkness, Omega with Jet Synchron, and you know, the level 7 in your main deck, Mo Ghost, Ogre, Dark Magic Attack, definitely options, right? So we can, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.